Right then, lads, welcome back to Kosi's Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, parts of the world. I want to say a special good morning to all my people in Uganda. It's a very, very difficult time to be alive in Uganda. I mean, bombs flying everywhere and anywhere. But I'm safe, and I hope you're safe, and I hope none of you actually got injured in those, bomb blasts that actually happened yesterday. Other countries, if you also have some pigments of insecurity, I pray that you are in top security. But anyway, guys, yesterday we only had one show, and today we are back again with a couple of other stories, and of course all the shows will be airing today on Kosi's Arsenal podcast. Thanks everybody for asking out, for reaching out to ask if I was okay. I'm absolutely in perfect shape, and I'm not even injured. So people, we're sponsored by the beautiful people at H&H Gamers. Make sure you do check them out. Their video, their information in the video description. Of course, check them on Facebook, check them on Twitter, check them on Instagram. You'll get their information, and you'll be able to access them. They deal in gaming. If you have anything to do with gaming, they are your perfect partner. In today's edition, we're going to be looking at a couple of stories. We're going to look at Edin Ketia. Sky Sports have said, yes, Edin Ketia is leaving Arsenal. They have confirmed that. According to Sky, Rob Holding and Calum Chambers wanted at Newcastle. Renato Sanchez back again, wanted by Arsenal. And Little Sport actually saying that Arsenal have not yet made a bid, but that could change in the coming days and in the coming hours. So we are still waiting for that to see what is going to happen. Really, is it going to be again another deja vu, because Arsenal do deal with these kind of deja vus all the time? Is it going to be another deja vu, or is it going to be a real story right about now? Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is injured. Where is that? Is Thomas Partey back for the injury for the Liverpool game? And more and more and more. Consider smashing a like on the video. Consider subscribing to the channel if you find the information really entertaining and helpful as an Arsenal fan. Let's get into it. So to start the party, let's start off with Luke De Jong, who has been linked with Arsenal. Luke De Jong is one of those very interesting midfielders playing at Barcelona at the moment. And of course, with the financial predicament that Barcelona are in, they're looking to get back to the roots. They're looking to go back to the older ways of getting in young players, and developing them into senior players, like they did with the likes of Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, and all that golden era. It came through the academy, it came through the ranks, and actually they did really, really well. Now, according to a couple of reports, Arsenal have been linked with Luke De Jong in their search for a new midfielder. Will Barcelona let go of Luke De Jong? I don't see that happen. And how much could we pay for Luke De Jong? Probably 50 million, probably 60 million. As a young player, I think he's been a regular for Barcelona under the previous management, and I still think he's gonna be a regular for Barcelona under the new management of Xavi Hernandez. Yes, he's a very good midfielder. I'd love to take him in Arsenal, and I think he's very, very different from Thomas Partey. I've already said that I want a midfielder. I would prefer a midfielder who's so different from Thomas Partey, a midfielder who's progressive, a midfielder who's good at passing, and a midfielder who has an eye for goal. I think Luke De Jong is your man. His dribbling is lit. His ball position is lit. His ball passing is lit. But I don't see him join Arsenal. I don't see Arsenal getting any successful, tackles with this one, if you could call it that way. Yeah, I mean, I believe we need a midfielder. With Mohamed El Neni now set to leave the club in January, I was quite surprised. I'm gonna say this. I thought he was gonna leave in the summer. I thought Mohamed El Neni would agree with Galatasaray and then leave in the summer. But more reports are actually emphasizing the fact and point that Mohamed El Neni could leave in January, in the January transfer window. Now that means if Partey goes out, El Neni goes out as well, we will need a definite backup as a midfielder. A couple of midfielders have been linked, and we're going to discuss in this video, but at the moment it is Luke De Jong that we have started with. Luke De Jong, again, another young player around 25, 26 that fits into the project that we want to do. Young players developing together, pulling in the same direction. I'll never forget to say that whenever I'm trying to define our young project, because that is what Josh Kroenke said. a young project that is pulling into the same direction, a young squad that develops together to pull into the same direction. Now, to think about that, guys, yes, Luke De Jong fits into there. He brings a bit of experience to the midfield. He brings more talent. He's really talented, more talented than the likes of Ainsley Maitland-Niles and the likes of Mohamed El Neni. Very talented, way beyond talented. I just feel like he's more talented than technically gifted than Thomas Partey, but of course we can't enter that debate right now. But look, he would be a very perfect replacement for Granit Xhaka, because I feel like Xhaka, however much, is very good defensive wise, especially helping out on the left wing, but I also think he's very good at moving the ball as a player. So we need someone who can move the ball. We need someone who can actually anchor the midfield. Luke De Jong is our man. Valuation, like I said, around 40 to 50 million, or probably stretching to 60. Barcelona could use any amount that actually comes their way. In the January transfer window, Xavi has been given only 10 million to spend. Obviously, they will want to get more money. So, can we get Luke De Jong? Probably 40 million, probably 45 or 50 million. I know Barcelona will sell because they want to bring in the likes of Karim Adeyemi. They want to bring in the likes of Giovanni Reina from Dortmund. They want to bring in new young talent. Of course, they're linked with Thiago Alcantara as well. So probably if we can take out Luke De Jong, it's got Frank De Jong. It's got Luke De Jong. If we can take out De Jong, probably we will actually be able to get in, they can be able to get in Thiago. I think it's called Frankie De Jong, not actually Luke De Jong. Luke De Jong is the striker, and Frankie De Jong is the midfielder. Just point of correction. Let's move on to the next story, and the next story is the swap deal between Kulusevski and Pepe. Now, of course, this is a story that has been around for some time. Pepe, Kulusevski. I didn't see a swap deal coming. Of course, I don't think that Juve would use the services of Nikola Pepe. Yes, they might. Yes, they can. But I don't see that happen. I don't feel like it's gonna be. It's a story that really makes a lot of sense. But it has been proposed that Arsenal would want to swap Pepe for Kulusevski. Juve, in their financial situation, I don't feel like they're gonna do that. I don't feel like they're gonna accept that. I don't see them accepting a swap deal between Pepe and Kulusevski. Honestly, to be fair to Juve, there is no reason as to why they need Nikola Pepe. There is no reason as to why they need Nikola Pepe. They already have the likes of Weston McKennie doing well. They already have the likes of Federico Chiesa doing well at the side. Really, telling me that they would take Nikola Pepe maybe to sit on the bench, just to give him free wages. I don't see that, and I also don't see Nikola Pepe as the profile of player that Juve would sign. Look, if you look at their squad, if you look at how they've been, handling their transfer business, yes, they've brought in a couple of older players. They've also brought in a couple of young players, but again, Pepe is not in that profile. It doesn't fit in, anywhere in the profile of players that Juve would sign. Well, and of course, reports coming in from from Italy, according to Tutto Juve, they are saying that Arsenal will have to pay 30 to 35 million pounds cash to get the player. No swap deals, no nothing, no player plus cash deals. It's going to be you either pay the money straight up, you cough it up, or you actually let go of the player. What is it gonna be? We still wait to see what Arsenal will choose in that scenario. Honestly, the big story is about Renato Sanchez, Lille. Again, another player that has really rejuvenated himself. Look, guys, I feel like among all the players that we've been linked with the summer, and they didn't come, Maddison has not really proven to be very good. Joaquin Correa moved to Inter Milan. Of course, he's really had a very good start. But I feel like Renato Sanchez is that man that has actually pulled up his socks from the summer right about now. Now, yes, again, of course, you're gonna. I know in your head you're gonna tell. You're thinking, of course, he's gonna tell us about Luton Sport. You are right. You just need. You just hit the nail by the head. Luton Sport have actually come out and provided another update around Renato Sanchez. First and foremost, they have said that Arsenal really had much interest in Renato Sanchez in the summer, but we failed and we adamantly refused to pay the £35 million asking price for the player. Obviously, I did report about Renato Sanchez, and you lads were actually asking me much about Renato Sanchez. Is he coming? When is he coming? What is the price? What is his age? And things like that. After shining in the Euros, I expected him to be linked with a couple of clubs, Liverpool included. Manchester United did not miss the party, Chelsea and Arsenal Football Club. But for me, the two serious contenders in that battle were Liverpool and Arsenal. Arsenal were that close to getting the player, but we refused to pay £35 million for the player and decided to go with Granit Xhaka to stay. Now, guys, again, Luton Sport have come back with the same story, and they have said Arsenal have actually revamped their interest in taking Renato Sanchez to the Emirates Stadium. At the moment, there is no agreement and there is no formal bid from Arsenal, but that could change in the next hours. So, in the summer, we refused to pay £35 million for a player, and then we go back in January and we are very, very, very interested in the same player. Come on, Arsenal. Of course, the drama. This is the theater of drama. We always do the drama. We are always good at drama. But my opinions about Renato Sanchez are very clear. Wolves want him also. In the summer, I think they will try to sign him. They tried to sign him in the summer. It failed. Look, I thought Renato was going to move to Wolves because they're very, very good at those, surprise deals. But my thoughts are, if he doesn't really get injured very often, he's a very, very good player. But my problem is inconsistency. He's very, very inconsistent as a player. More like a Paulo Dybala. Very, very, very good on their days. Very, 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 flamboyant when they're shining. But my problem with them is their inability to keep the same kind of form. Like you see players like Thomas Partey, when they're fit, they can keep the same kind of form. Like you see players like Emile Smith-Rowe, when they're fit, they keep the same kind of form. The likes of Saka, they keep the same kind of form. My problem with Renato is he can shine in the World Cup, he can shine in the Euros, but he has those inconsistencies within the season. And of course, those inconsistencies are also proudly sponsored by the injuries. He's really had an injury-prone career, but it's a very, very good talent. It's a very, very big talent. Obviously, I've been following him right from Benfica to Bayern Munich, and he's been not really doing well at Bayern, but whenever he's been on a smaller side, he's actually done well. I think he's done well with Lille. I think he did well with Benfica. And maybe Arsenal could be his a bigger stage. If he can perform on a bigger stage, if he can keep away from injuries, if he can get an injury-free career, if he can solve the inconsistencies, at least be average, on days when he's not good, and then on days where he's good, he can be flamboyant. I think he's another interesting player to watch, and I think Arsenal would get a very, very good player in Renato Sanchez. What are your thoughts on Renato? Do you think he is the man Arsenal should be going for? Moving on, guys. Calum Chambers, again, my man. 5 million bid is being prepared by Newcastle. Come on, Newcastle. You could do better than that. You could give us 16 million. I mean, I just feel like you have the money. What are you going to use it for? But anyway, guys, the serious story is that Calum Chambers has been linked yet again with Newcastle and a move away from the Emirates Stadium. I just want to feel like he should stay, but honestly, they need to go. Cedric, Chambers, they need to go. It's time for it's high time. It's time up for them at Arsenal. I don't see them actually getting a bigger future at Arsenal. Calum Chambers could get a regular spot at Newcastle. At the moment, they're looking for anything they can to get to stay in the league. And I think, players like Calum Chambers is not that bad. He can play for you as a centre back. He can play for them as a right back. And because he was signed by Arsene Wenger, and Ed Howe was looked at as an Arsene Wenger replacement, I just feel like maybe Calum Chambers could do a very, very good job for Eddie Howe. But anyway, I don't know, but it's 5 million that is being proposed. Would you take it for Calum Chambers? I'll take around 8 million. But of course, if Newcastle insists on 5 million, there is nothing to lose Arsenal. He's never going to be a starter. He's never going to be a very, very important player. Let go of one of them. We either let go of Cedric or we let go of Calum Chambers. At this point in time, I would love Cedric to go, but I even don't care. I mean, I just don't want them to be there, piled there. Kolasinac is now injured. He's also, among the pile. I just don't want them to be piled there. I just want them to leave. And honestly, Calum Chambers, £5 million, I'll do that deal. Give him to Newcastle and forget close that chapter. Never sign, never sign players out of excitement. Never sign players out of YouTube clips again. Yes, he had a good season with Southampton when we brought him in under Arsene Wenger, around 16 million pounds. Come on, guys, 16 million pounds, and now we are going to get £5 million. Again, another player that I think Fett has been really cruel with. The injuries that actually, that he has actually picked up. We never got to know whether Calum Chambers would have been a success at Arsenal because he spent much of his time in the sick bay. And of course, during our struggle to find a decent right back, the likes of Calum Chambers came in, the likes of Matteo Debuchy, the likes of Cedric Soares, and things have actually not worked out for them. So let them leave. Tomiyasu is here. Let them leave, and we can only get better if we drive out the deadwood. Obviously, still talking about players that are actually moving out. Rob Holding is another one that has been linked with another expensive move away from Arsenal. Now, apart from unlike Chambers, with Rob Holding, this one would be a profit because we signed him from Bolton, still under Arsene Wenger, around I think the price was around £1 to £2 million, if I'm not really forgotten the facts. It was between £1 to £2 million from Bolton. Still remember there was a very big war between us and Chelsea, but we got the player. Now again, people, to be very honest, Rob Holding is another player that I think is providing backup at the moment. I wouldn't sell him in the January transfer window out of the picture. I wouldn't do that deal. It would be absolutely crazy. Not even crazy, but suicidal. That is the word. So don't sell Rob Holding in the January transfer window. But again, he's a player. He's 26. He wants to be a regular centre back. I feel like he can be a regular centre back, just like Katsuma got his free ticket and went on to be a very serious regular centre back for West Ham. I feel like Rob Holding can also be the same, probably at a club like Newcastle. He can be. Newcastle, it is being rumored that they want to pay around £15 million for Rob Holding. They wanted him in the January, in the summer, on a season-long loan deal, but we refused. We said it is not happening now. They want him in January. Arsenal shouldn't do this deal because he's the only one player that I trust a little to back up Ben White and Gabriel Magalhaes. Pablo Mari, my trust has fallen so far away from him being a direct replacement to any of the centre backs. And of course, Cedric, Kolasinac, what can I say? If I don't have trust in Pablo Mari, I really can't have trust in the rest of them. So my argument around Rob Holding is that don't sell him in January. Wait for the summer. Wait when it is when times are better, and then we can actually let him go. 15 million for Rob Holding. I think it is a price that really works for us. I don't know what you people think, but I just feel like it's a price that works for us. It's a price that is actually because we would make massive a massive profit, a massive jump in terms of what we are getting, around 13 million in terms of profit. And I also feel like we can press hard because he just signed a new contract. I think it was last year. Just signed a new contract, and he has around 3-4 years left on his new contract. So we can even get 20 million out of Rob Holding, but that should be in the summer. In the January transfer window, Rob Holding, no. Arsenal, we have so many games coming up. We need to let these players have some game time for purposes of squad rotation. I wouldn't actually let my boy go in January, but look, Rob, I don't love you that much, you know that, but I love you as a national player. In the summer, probably you could go out there and get where you play football. You never know. You could be England captain one day. Of course, moving on is Isco, guys. On a free deal, we've been linked with Isco. Look, again, another player who's a regular on the Arsenal on the Arsenal board. Regular, like really regular. Isco's been linked with a January transfer move. To any other club. Madrid will have to let him go. But of course, in the summer, I think he will be left to go on a free transfer. Madrid are looking at the likes of Mbappe and a couple of other players. They're trying to bring in some expensive talent, so they have to drive out the likes of Odegaard, the likes of Asensio, the likes of Isco, and a couple of others. But of course, the big question is: would you take Isco at Arsenal in the summer? My answer is very, very easy. January, I can try. In the summer, no. I think in the summer we need someone. We need a player who's charismatic. We need someone who can actually be able to provide for the team going forward. Isco, I feel like he's actually dropped off the radar. Yes, he was a good player. I like him. I love him as a player. I'm a very, very big fan. But I don't see how Arsenal really benefit from getting him at Arsenal Football Club, unless I'm wrong. Anyway, guys, that is what is happening at the moment. Arsenal Football Club being linked with here and there. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's injury is being assessed. He's not yet fit to play, in the coming game. So probably, let's see by Saturday if you'll actually be available. That is the update. I'll be back at 5 and of course at 9 p.m. to discuss with you match. If I can't come live, honestly, it's my internet, and of course any help that will be appreciated if you love to use the number on the screen.